Go out and buy Bobby Kennedy's The Real Dr. Fauci book. There is so much information in this book about Dr. Fauci. This guy was asked 111 questions. Hi everyone, welcome to the Amir Khan Show. Today is Wednesday, July 29th, and Dr. Fauci decided to testify. Now, all those years we heard Dr. Fauci say, I don't care, I'm not afraid to testify, call me up to Congress, I'll do it. And so today he was forced to come to Congress because of Rand Paul. So shout out to Rand Paul for getting Dr. Fauci to come out and testify. Again, testify because I'll talk about what he really did. His opening statement, Dr. Fauci's opening statement, was absolutely pathetic. All he said is that Rand Paul is obsessed with me, he's out to get me, he's out to incriminate me, so I'm just going to plead the fifth. And that is exactly what Dr. Fauci did. This guy was asked 111 questions, and out of the 111 questions he was asked, he answered or invoked the Fifth Amendment every single time. Now, how could you criminate yourself? How could it be self-incriminating when you have a blanket pardon from Sleepy Joe Biden? Now, I'm not going to get into if that pardon is legal or not because of the auto pen. That is something that needs to be adjudicated by the court systems. We'll see what happens with that. But the fact that Dr. Fauci didn't answer a single question lets Americans know that this guy was hiding something from Americans this whole time. And he was. Look at the data. Look at the contradictions he's made over the past 4 years when he was in charge of America's health. He was being called and touted as America's doctor. I do apologize for the background noise. I do live in an urban area. So this guy, under his watch, 1.2 million Americans died. I'm gonna keep going here. So 1.2 million Americans died. That's not something I should be laughing about, but it's more so the music. Now, this guy was also the head of NIAID. And guess what? If someone is supposed to be in charge of an infectious disease organization, do you guys know how many times Dr. Fauci tested a COVID person? Zero. He had zero experience of ever testing or personally handling someone who had COVID. He had practically no experience. That's like me saying, hey, I'm going to get someone who puts on drywall to do all the electric work throughout the house. That would be a complete disaster. So this guy is a complete hack, a total hack. You guys remember all those daily press conferences he would make in the White House lawn? Not one time did Dr. Fauci say, hey guys, we're noticing certain patterns in this COVID disease, this SARS-CoV-19. So one of the things you guys should do is get plenty of sunlight. He never said that one time. He never said go get some sunlight, be outside, make sure you get vitamin D. He never said to stop smoking tobacco, to stop drinking soft drinks, e-cigarettes, vapes. He never said that at all. He was so gun-ho on pushing this vaccine because he received over $770 million from directly and indirectly from these big pharma corporations. He was the highest paid government official during the Biden era, making more money than the president, the vice president, and every other State Department. I mean, how ludicrous is that? This guy actively was suppressing ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, which are supposed to be considered, which have been, as I've learned over the years, are considered miracle drugs because they specifically fight SARS-CoV-19 and reduce the risk of you being sick for a long time and your immune system to build back up and fighting infection by 99%. But he suppressed that. This is something you could have gotten over the counter. You could have gone to your doctor. He specifically gave orders to doctors to not prescribe a a miracle drug, which is what hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin were considered. Instead, he wanted to push vaccines and other sorts of pharmaceutical drugs that he had been trying to push for a very long time. And if you had questioned the jibby jab, you were doxxed, you were banned off of social media, you were fired from your job. So think about not just the 1.2 million Americans that died under his watch, but also the millions of Americans that had to go through economic losses because of this narrative that if you say you're not going to get the jibby jab, you're going to be fired, you're going to lose your family members and friends. But look, there is so much lie that he propagated with COVID-19. I encourage you to please go out and buy Bobby Kennedy's The Real Dr. Fauci book. There is so much information in this book about Dr. Fauci. And ask yourself, Dr. Fauci not one time has gone after Bobby Kennedy or tried to sue him, because everything in here is backed by data and facts. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. And I do apologize for the noise in the background. Bye now.